I'm going to tell you guys a great story, but first, I have to make a drink.
We're going to play a little Bob Ross here, okay?
Please help me welcome Robyn Closson.
Otherwise, you will get the egg and it will come out.
Welcome to this week's Bar Book Trivia. This week's trivia comes from the official mixer's manual, but I'm not going to show it because a quote from the official mixer's manual of 1934, "Bartending is an old and honorable trade," was written by this author. Was it Tony Abou-Ganim, Harry Johnson, H.L. Mencken, or Patrick Gavin Duffy? We'll give you the answer to today's question at the end of the show, so stick around. I'm going to tell you guys a great story, but first, I have to make a drink. The Montage Hotel and Resort in California is right on the coast of California. If you stand right by the shore, you can see the sunset. Now, rumor has it that this location that the hotel was built on used to be the location of a trailer park where Hollywood used to make some movies with Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. There was 2 very tall palm trees, and they actually cut the palm trees out of the ground while they built the resort and then put the palm trees back in. And today, you can see those palm trees right on the coast. I know, I feel a little bit like Bob Ross right now. There we go. The blood orange aviation, garnished with a California sunset. Here comes our drink making mechanics. There it is. Our guest of the day today, our guest trainer, Robyn Closson, will be making some cocktails and talking about egg whites. So I would like to use an egg white in my cocktail today and let her explain how to get the best froth on top of a drink. 1.5 ounces of lemon, 1.5 ounces of simple syrup. Boom, boom. We will do a dry shake with it. First, I want to put my little springy in. Good stuff. And now I follow up with my spirits. There's 1 ounce of the Aviation Gin, my favorite gin. One of my favorite gins. All right, it's my favorite. And 1/2 ounce of elderflower liqueur. So I have a single pressed lemon juice, cane sugar, simple syrup, and some ice cubes. And we shake it up. Now my chilled martini glass. And we too will fine strain this cocktail. Beautiful, making a nice froth or a nice head on top of that drink. And for Valentine's Day, here we go. Let me get that into there. This is a cookie cutter. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes as well. Some Peychaud's bitters. Just like so. And the edge of a knife. Before I do a perfectly straight line, as you can see here, there's a bit of a dot there. If you just take that first dot off the knife, you can make a perfectly straight line. There it is. So that's for Valentine's Day. So here's our Valentine's Day cocktail. It's gin, elderflower liqueur, lemon juice, and simple syrup, shaken, of course, with some egg white to make a nice froth on top of there. Robyn Closson is going to cover everything that you need to know about nice frothy egg whites on top of your cocktail. Enjoy.
You might roll your eyes, you might even curse it, but you're probably going to use it. Here's tonight's bad bar joke.
Last Friday night, there was this infinite number of mathematicians that walked into the bar. The first one ordered a pint, and the second one ordered half a pint. The third one ordered a fourth of a pint. And then the fifth, eventually I just brought them 2 pints and said, you mathematicians don't know your limits. I know it doesn't look like it, but I don't get that joke at all. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Super special guest coming for us right now. She is the Queen of Flair, the most celebrated flair bartender in the world, now mixologist. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fabulous guest trainer here on Behind the Glass with Dean Serneels. Please help me welcome Robyn Closson.
I'm going to let y'all show me your hidden talents. So there are some people in the audience that I don't understand how they where's Robyn Closson? Robyn? Hi, Robyn. Where do you live? What do you do?
I live in Las Vegas and I'm a bartender.
That's really good. We should do this more often.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Robyn Closson. Hey, Robyn!
Hi. Hi, Dean.
Welcome
So
to
good
my-
see you.
Yes, good to see you too. It's been a long, long time.
It's been very long, actually.
Yeah, I was at Nickel City, I think in August or October, and you started like 2 months later or something.
Yeah,
I was-
2019.
Yeah, 2019. So
Started at the end of. I started like 2 days before Thanksgiving that year.
working for Travis Tober, who was a guest on our show back in season 1.
I saw that.
Now, Travis has you transitioning from flair bartender girl to mixologist, correct?
Bartender, making cocktails. Yes, I was doing cocktails before I moved here. But yeah, now it's straight high volume cocktails.
Guest trainer. And Robyn, I'm going to give you 10 minutes on the clock. Dun, dun, dun. Robyn, what can you teach us in 10 minutes?
So, I mean, a lot of people, I think, already work with egg whites, but I'm just going to kind of dive into it a little bit because a lot of people are really, really scared to work with eggs. I know I was. So I'm going to just kind of run through the methods, and I'm going to show you, give you guys another little hint. For me, when I was working with egg whites, I could never really get that head really, really consistent. I tried the dry shake, the reverse dry shake, just the regular method, And I'm going to kind of run those through and give you the method that I actually use, which is neither of the three, and gives you that good, consistent head every single time.
So you're giving us something brand new that we've never seen, or?
It's something I kind of came up with, but then I found out I think there are other people that use it too. And Mo Isaiah actually wrote an article about what it was, cocktails in his bar, and he uses that method for it too. So I was like, hey, oh my God, I use that method. It's so cool. I love it. But it literally gives you the perfect head every single time, whether you're a newbie or not newbie. If you prefer one way or the other, and people dislike one way, they dislike the other, I don't care. I think it's great. And if you like any of the methods, I think you will still like this method. But again, it gives you the perfect head every single time. So
Good. I'm going to get out of your way and let you do it.
yeah, go right ahead. So it's the 3-shake method. He calls it the triple shake method. So it's pretty much a dry shake. You put your ice in it, shake it, and then dry shake it again. Let me just show you.
All right.
So we're going to get the egg first, and a lot of people don't do this, but you really should. There's also a lot of people don't know how to crack eggs. And if you don't work in the kitchen, there's a couple ways to do it. I've seen a bartender do it this way, where you crack it on here, and it literally separates it for you, which is really cool. If you really are scared of cracking eggs, you can buy one of these. It's actually an egg separator. It's used in baking. You can buy them online. You can buy them in restaurants, supply stores. People have a ton of different ways to separate an egg. Me, because I cook, just easy for me to crack an egg. 2 different shells. Always crack your egg first, because if you do happen to get the yolk in the drink, you can literally just start all over and you're not wasting the entire ingredients.
You want to make sure that you don't get any of the egg white or egg yolk in the drink, correct?
Yeah. Unless you want to make a flip, which are also amazing cocktails, but we're not.
But then you'd throw the entire yolk in for a flip, is that correct?
The entire yolk in for a flip. So I'm good with that. So we're good. And then you never want to start off with the spirit first, just in case you mess up the entire ingredients. Then you're wasting the spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and put my citrus in next. For basic sours, I like to do the 2 3/4 method. And obviously people have their own. Some people like to do 1/2. Everybody has their own, but I like to do the 2 3/4 method. So I'm going to use my citrus.
So what's can you take us through that method real quick as you're pouring it? The 2 3/4.
Yeah, 2 ounces spirit, 3/4 ounces citrus, and 3/4 ounce of sugar. So that could be good for a pisco sour, which would be lime and sugar, or a daiquiri. Now, if you're doing something like maybe a Midori sour or an amaretto sour, you probably want to cut down on the sugar because it's already a sweet spirit. But anything like this, just a 3/4, and then 2 ounces of spirit, I think is a perfect sour no matter what direction you want to go. So I'm going to make something a little different today. I'm going to add just a couple dashes of rose water in this. So I'm going to get a good little dry shake. And because it doesn't have the ice already in it, it doesn't seal the tins like it would when there's ice in there. So you have to really, really make sure that when you tap this on the counter, that it has a really good, you have a hold on it. Otherwise, you will get the egg and it will come out in your face. And a lot of people have done this before and had egg explode in their face. It's happened to probably a lot of people. These shakers are actually amazing.
What kind of shakers are they?
What's that?
What kind of shakers are
I
they?
got these from Beaumont, actually. These are the Beaumont shakers. They're incredible.
All right.
Give this a nice airy shake. They come apart.
So
really
the first shake is the egg whites with all the ingredients but no ice. So just a dry shake with all the ingredients.
So another key factor when you're making egg white cocktails is your ice. So this is my freezer ice. It's small. When you have some really small ice like this, it doesn't make the greatest egg white drinks ever out there. When you have big ice, I made this specifically for this today. When you have bigger ice, it makes better.
I didn't know that. That's new for me.
It's because it's just like when you make a cocktail. When you have one big cube of ice, you're cooling it down, but you're not over diluting it. So if you have just a couple of big chunks of ice, it cools it down without over diluting it.
Because there's less surface area than all
all of the ice cubes built up is creates a lot of surface area and makes it melt faster, right?
Yeah. So the cold draft ice, those are good. A lot of people usually probably like 4, 5, 6 cubes of those. Me, if you work somewhere that has like the big cube of ice and you take one and you just kind of knock it down, break it into like 2 or 3 pieces, that's usually pretty good. So go ahead and give this a good shake.
Woohoo!
2 seconds, maybe about 20 shakes is a good shake for these. Now I want to go ahead and just strain all that out of there.
So that's where most people stop, right? They
That's when most people stop, and I'll tell you right now, you probably still have some cubes of ice in there, some junk. I don't need this anymore.
you fine strain that, right? You just fine strain that into a cocktail. That's where most of the bartenders that I see do it stop there.
So the different types, when I use this or when I use just the regular strain or I use the fine strain. The fine strain, definitely, I'm going to use it in this because this is, I could have, if this was a little bit bigger, I probably wouldn't use the fine strain because I have room to put more in there. If I'm going to do it on the rocks, I wouldn't use the fine strain. I'll just let all that goodness go right in there, and that's fine with me because you want all the foam.
Right.
But for this drink, I'm going to use the fine strain. And you'll see why. Let's have it one more time. Because the glass.
All right, this is the triple tap.
Yeah.
The triple shake, right?
It's cold, it's going to suction it pretty well. I still get those ice cubes in there, which is again why I'm going to double strain or fine strain it.
Right.
So because the glass, people don't like the method of shaking it the last time without ice because they think it's warming the drink up. I'll tell you right now, this shaker is very cold. You're not warming this drink up right now.
Right. And that's a fine strain, so you're double straining it into there.
Yes.
That looks great.
So I have just some like little rose petals I'm gonna put in here. Where's the camera? There it is.
That looks great.
So now you have a beautiful cocktail with a beautiful head every single time. Like there's no doubt about it. This I made it earlier was completely to the top. So maybe I just had to shake a little more. But the thing about when you do this way, sometimes when you shake it, especially if you do the reverse dry shake, you're gonna have extra big bubbles on top. And when you try to do it that way, sometimes when you put the bitters on top, it soaks through the bottom. I see no big bubbles on top of here. This is a nice creamy froth on top, which is gonna leave you with a nice creamy cocktail. Like, it's so freaking delicious. Okay, that's what you want on top of your drink. It's so creamy and smooth and delicious. And you're gonna get that with that 3 shake. Like, it's perfect.
So what would make the perfect froth on top?
You want it to have a good size, so probably about a good 1/2 inch, maybe.
Okay.
You want to look for the consistency of it. If there's bubbles in it, like this has no
Right.
bubbles. Like a layer of silkiness on top. It just looks like silky smooth. Like that's perfect.
I often have like one bubble that pops up in the center.
Yeah, well, it happens, and I always go boop. It happens. Nobody's perfect, but this one this one came out perfect. And it doesn't always. It doesn't mean you suck. It happens.
Right. I often get a question when I use egg whites. Why use egg whites at all?
Well, egg whites kind of just they bring like a texture to a drink. Like me, You could have a drink without egg whites, and people get scared of egg whites because they think they're getting food poisoning, and it doesn't happen. I mean, it's so rare that it's ridiculous. Me, I see an egg white drink on a menu, and I'm like, I don't care what else is in it, I want that because I know the texture is going to be amazing, and I know the flavor is going to be like egg whites don't necessarily bring a specific flavor to a drink, but they do bring a texture, and I love the texture. I just want to try it.
Yeah, I've often described it as the egg white gets infused with all the flavors so that when you sip it, all the little tiny bubbles from the egg white kind of disperse all through your mouth and deliver the flavor in different parts of your mouth. So
Yeah, they help blend the cocktail and emulsifies. Yeah, helps emulsify
yeah,
the cocktail.
beautiful. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Robyn Closson. Hey, Robyn, before I let you go, do you have time for a magic trick?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, here we are with some money-making magic. Robyn Closson going to help me out today. I've prepared a magic trick for you today. TJ Tana actually gave me the advice on pulling this trick. I have 3 different Flairco bottles here, and I've made a prediction. I've made a prediction that you, my guest at the bar, I know which bottle you're going to choose. And it's not even a force. I let you choose bottle number 1, bottle number 2, or bottle number 3. So you get to just think it through, and you choose the bottle. Choose bottle 1, 2, or 3. You have chosen bottle number 3. Well, you see, I've got a little napkin underneath each one of these bottles. So this is bottle number 3. Let me show you the napkin on bottle number 1. It's totally empty. Napkin on bottle number 2 is again totally empty. However, because I knew you were going to choose bottle number 3, I wrote inside the napkin that you will choose bottle number 3.
Whee! That's awesome.
Yay!
Yay!
That's a very simple magic trick, nice and fun, that you can do with your guests at the bar. That's the money-making magic with Robyn Closson. All right, Robyn, we will see you on Wednesday for
Awesome.
One Drink with Robyn Closson.
See you Wednesday.
All right, thanks, Robyn. See you later. So our bar trick of the day really has a lot to do with the drink making technique of the day and, of course, Robyn's great outline of making egg white cocktails. So let me show you exactly how I have some fun on top of the drinks. Here are a bunch of little cookie cutters. This one's got a little heart on it. I'll show you how that works. And I have a little tiny paring knife here as well. All right. So there's the paring knife, and here are the different cookie cutters. You can get all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And then I have my collection of bitters here. All right, there's some chocolate bitters and some peychauds. And each of these is also in a little atomizer, little tiny atomizers here, little cocktail atomizers. They're really cool. Okay. All right, what do I want to do? Oh, I also need a napkin. So I have a bar napkin here, or a piece of paper towel. I like to fold it so it has a crisp edge on it. So the straight edge will allow me to do some water right across there. And if I dip a flower right there, I'll dip another flower right there. And then I can also come in with a few drops of, here's just the chocolate bitters down the edge of the knife. Slice it right into there. Now I just let it sit right on the edge of the knife just before it falls off. place it right on top, just like so. All right, not my best work, but you'll get it. Here we are with the answer to today's trivia question. A quote from the official Mixer's Manual of 1934. Bartending is an old and honorable trade was written by this author. It was Patrick Gavin Duffy. Now I can show you the book. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Send me some likes. Thanks.